Good morning, everybody. It's Mike from inboxwave.com. So today I'm making a video. I'm going to continue with the theme of like the previous last few videos of watching just one market. I'm going to do the NASDAQ. I got a request. Somebody wanted to see, implementing multiple time frames. So I'm going to watch the NASDAQ. I've got the 1 minute chart, and I think I'll switch from 1 minute to 5 minute and see what information I can leverage from both of those time frames to make trade decisions. So we're about an hour before the open, and so we'll start with pre-market analysis. If you zoom out, you can see that generally we are going in a downtrend. We had a down move here, then it sort of went horizontal, then it went down again, right? So that we know what's going on, right? So we're in a downtrend, right? So that's important. Let's go to the 5 minute chart. 5 minute chart. So this shows us last week. Last week we had this pump up, markets jumped here, and it's kind of been wiggling up for the last few days, and here it's starting to come down. So what's important here? What's important is we've got this horizontal movement here, right, relative to this jump up. We've got, after price climbed, it kind of got consolidated, kind of got stuck here. So there's some area here I would say is important, because after this huge price jump up, I'm just going to draw a line here, around this area. It's not exact or anything, you know. The other thing is that, we see that, price sort of, this isn't exact or anything, but do you see every time we're hitting resistance, bam, bam, comes up, comes back, it kind of looms around here, now it kind of come down. So this is just to give me sort of a gauge, as to parameters of, support and resistance. I mean, if it reaches these levels, maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe I'll update them. I don't know. It's kind of early to tell, since it's 8:35. So we're getting quite a bit of selling here, but it's pre-market, and if we look at the 5 minute, what we see here is there's more selling, here, 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 here. Sort of, it just looks a bit more selling than buying. Plus now price is moving down, so I'd say there's a bear market bias. Could change, right? Could change as the markets do. But look, before this whole steady down move happened, we had this huge inbox histogram right here happening on Tuesday. So that's kind of a clue, right? And if we return to the 1 minute, so 1 minute zooming out, we see less, but can compare it to the previous day, right? And so far in the pre-market, we see there's quite a bit of selling pressure, right? So that's my pre-market analysis, right? Put the video on pause, come back a little later. All right, so we're about right before the open, about 5 minutes before the open, 4 minutes, and so I drew that arrow, and look, price continued to go down. It's hitting this line that I drew previously from the 5 minute chart here. All right, we'll see if it can punch through, if the downtrend continues, or we'll see what happens. But, you know, relatively, and this is interesting because this is pre-market, and look at that amount of selling in the MBUX histogram. That's a lot. Got the wrong line here. Let's get the ray. All right. So here, right, comparing to the previous day, it's quite a bit of selling. If I can get it straight enough. All right. I mean, it doesn't exceed, but that's not too important right now. It's important is that the markets haven't opened yet, and it's a huge push down. So what's going to happen? You know, we got all this selling, right? We're seeing that the X pace, we're getting the bids picking up here. All right. S-Lix here. Huge pace, pre-market. Maybe it's climactic, I don't know. Or maybe it's the beginning of this move, and maybe that's going to break through this support line that I drew. I don't know. But what's interesting here is that we've got all these sell signals here. The pullbacks, you see since the beginning of this move down, we've got all this, you know, pullback, X control, total control of the bids. Here. Your offers tried to do here. Now we're getting control of the bids. Again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves with algorithmic sell signals. So that's a lot of pressure here. So we got to see on the follow through and see what happens after the open. You know. But so far it looks pretty bearish. So we'll come back in a little bit. All right, so I decided to get into a trade. I just got in shortly after the open, right? This, this is more of a counter trend climax sort of trade, and it's not the 10 points of confluence, so I don't have super large reward to the risk, but it looks like maybe there's enough here to catch catch a short trade. I don't know, we'll see, because move down here, it came down like exactly to my line. I mean, that's just pure coincidence. It's not like this line exactly has any like this level exactly doesn't have any meaning. That was just, I drew where price clumped after it skyrocketed a few days ago. That's it. But this is a guide for me, right? Telling me that at this level, we had this huge selling effort, huge pace of the bids, and quickly it reversed. We got total control of the offers. We have a buy imbalance in the MBUX histogram here, buy imbalance in the MBUX histogram here. Q and delta strong. And the reason I enter this trade is look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 algorithmic sell signals, and we broke through it. So these is five failed sell signals here, right? So we had 5 failed sell signals. This, to me, I looked at it as climactic. We had these buy imbalances, control of the offers, and bam, I'm in. I'm in for just a short gain. I put it just on top of this wave, see if it pops up to there. We're already $3,000 in profits. Put my stop loss below the low of this total controlled offers, right? Since I'm only trading one market, I'm going to be taking trades like this. And on the 5-minute, what I wanted to show is that on the 5-minute, we also had this total control of the offers. Do you see? So that's the confluence of the multiple time frames. All right. And on the 5-minute, actually, we see a huge pace of offers. So we don't see the climactic in the pace of the bids. But we saw this huge selling attempt on the 5-minute. And actually, What I liked about this, let's see if I can scale this a little bit better. So we had a huge effort, no result situation on the 5-minute chart, which added to my list points of to take this trade. Do you see this box here compared to the box here? This box is longer, has less selling. This box is shorter and has quite a bit more selling. So there's a lot more selling here, and the length was produced much less length compared to this box. We have an effort, no result. All right. It's actually counting this up. It's actually pretty strong confluence in this trade. Now that, once I'm beginning to add it all up, on the 5-minute chart, you've got these strong numbers of supply: 259 minus 314, 331, 240, 387, bam, 147. What's going on? Right? It dropped from 387 to minus 147. And then we have this effort, no result. So we have this oversold, to me, it looks oversold condition, no supply because of the drop, 387 minus 147. No supply, oversold, total control of the offers. That's on the 5-minute. Let's see, we'll go back to the 1-minute. All right, well, we are making a correction here. So, we'll see if my analysis pans out. Right? Seems like a pretty good analysis, but what seems and what the market wants to do sometimes are two different things. But to me, it seems that the odds are stacked in our favor. So I'll put the video on pause. Let's see what happens. All right, indeed, analysis was good. We just hit the take profit. So entered around here, exited there. All right, so that was good. Let's see what the 5-minute chart says. This 5-minute chart shows huge amount of buying going on. I mean, it's relatively comparable to these guys. So I can't say it's exceptionally large, but it's relatively strong for now. We'll see. Maybe this point was climactic, You never know 100%. You could just take the evidence that there is and go with it. Now we're seeing another control of the offers. But see, the thing is, would be hesitant to just stay in the trade because we're hitting previous resistance, which was support. We had actually 2 lines here, that I'd be concerned about. And also, it's a counter trend trade, right? Unless it's a change in behavior and we start an uptrend. That could be it. Could be change in behavior. Look at this massive amount of buying, So in the beginning, when I took the trade, it was more like a counter trend trade with perhaps a potential of climactic action. Now it looks like potentially it could be a change in behavior. We'll see. You see, it far surpasses the previous day. Far surpasses. And on the 5-minute chart, what do we see? Well, see, on the 5-minute chart, it does not look significant yet. All right, so keep that in mind. 1-minute chart looks very significant. 5-minute doesn't look significant yet. That's okay, so, that's why that was a good exit and would not enter right now. Okay, usually I'd be done for the day, but since I'm doing this series of video trying to analyze blow by blow, I'll go for a little longer. That first trade got worked out very well. All right, so I'll let the markets roll and let's see what happens, see if we can catch some other trades. All right, so I'm in another trade again right now. Also, it's not a 10 plus point confluence trade, but I'm going with the flow here and see what happens. What happened here is we came down quite a bit, corrected. But do you see where it stopped at the minus 280? What do we see here? It stopped at this congestion zone. Remember all this selling pressure to sell? And bam, it got stopped here. So this acted as support, reversed at the 280. Here, see a contraction of selling. At the minus 18, there's no selling, no supply, right? And we had a sell pullback here, but the analysis for going short is not great, right? We see that here the offers are outpacing, so that's important. And right here, I got in as it broke out this swing. Right here, I got out as it broke out this swing. Looks like we're going to hit. Are we one tick away? Is it one of those deals? Got lost in my speech here. Lost track of price. I just went on the breakout here and went for the next level up. The next level up was this right here. Swing. And now it looks like it's flirting with that line. Remember I did a video, I think last time I had the same issue. It was like a tick away. And, that's why like sometimes people say, oh, maybe put it, the profits under the swings. I guess mine is slightly under, but still, I don't know. These things, it's kind of tricky. Anyway, I put my stop around here. We hit these wicks here. 1, 2, 3. 3 times we hit 1, 2, 3. It's arbitrary. It's not anything exact, okay? It's really just a 1-to-1. Oh, there it is. We hit it. All right, that's our second trade. So now we're up 13,500 for the day. So those two trades, I mean, the analysis was good, and you could take these kinds of trades. It's fine. They do work out. All right. They're not the high confluence like I was showing because I'm just limited to one market, but it's a fine way to trade, and sometimes you don't find the killer setup. I'd like to be done for the day, but I guess it's kind of early. It's only 10:20. I'll just roll with it, put the video on pause, and see what else happens. All right, I'm back in. This time with a short. Let's remove the order fills for now. I don't think this is a great trade. I think this is worse than the previous two trades. Best trade I think was the first trade. Then the second, this one. Unless the supply starts to come in, But we do have a few things going towards our favor. We got this double algo sell. We've got control of the bids. But, I'd like to see more selling here. That's kind of got me a little queasy. I did like that we reached 312.97. That's a demand drop. Drop in buying, and you see here, but what concerns me is this is sort of flatlined here. All right. But so far we're in profits, So this is a mediocre trade. I was more confident about the first two trades, but I can see that why someone would take this trade or want to take this trade. So I figured, hey, let's take it. Let's see what happens. Trading is not 100%. And, we are always can be wrong about analysis. Now, if this expands, the selling then my confidence would increase to hitting the profit line here. All right, but you see market goes zigzag up, zigzag down. Let's see what's happening here. See here, it reversed. You know, if you take this whole zone, it could be looked at as like resistance. You know, let's see what's on the 5 minutes. See on the 5 minute here, this was not really a multiple time frame trade. Right, the multiple time frame trade I took was the first one, had the total control, and to a degree a second one we also had a total control here, but for going short here we don't really have a basis for going short on the 5 minutes, so I don't know. Looking at that, don't know if I feel great about this trade. I think I didn't feel good about it getting in, but figured fine, let's try it, and I'll give my analysis, you know, because part of the process of learning is, you know, taking losers. But, you know, giving money back sucks. Now we're getting total control of the offers. We haven't seen that since here. And we're getting a double algo. Is this going to take us out? That's the question. Is this going to stop us out? Well, it's do or die, I suppose, so we're in it at this point. All right, I'm going to pause the video and come back when we see what happens. All right, so that was a loss. So we had those two winners. That's a loser, so we lost a few thousand. What was it, like 13.5? So we lost $4,000. All right, well, this was my suspicion. If it continues to flatline here and not increase, and look at that cumulative delta continue contracted here. And we got, look at that, total control offers, got some nice buy signals here. You know, the pace of the bids here ran out. Well, looks like maybe coming back here. We got to see what happens, you know. I want to leave on a winning note. So I guess I'll continue to watch the markets. Although I could call it a day too. $9.5 is just fine. You know, I got the strong down candle. Let's remove the order fill so we can do some analysis. But look at this. 187, 152, 50, 13. This could be effort, no result. Demand is beginning to grow. See, went 1332, 128. Buying starts to formulate. Getting demand. Buying is starting to formulate. We're getting a little bit here. Although this pace here, we have to see if it is accompanied by supply and selling. So right now, I don't know. Price coming down, breaking down through this point where we had this. See, and this is a good example where if I had my stop higher, perhaps I would have still made in the trade and could have gotten out break even. But you never know exactly. All right, I'm going to pause. I'll come back a little later. All right, I'm in again. I hope this will be last trade. I went for a long position. So this move down got stopped. Right, this supply ended up being weak. Right, 187, 152, 120. Lower low, less supply. Lower low, less supply, more selling. What is that? Oversold. All right, but I didn't get in at that point. Wanted more evidence. Then we got demand came in. We got 128, 145, 185. So it's increasing. 128, 145, 185. Supply is decreasing. 90, 12. I got in after this double algo, and we had these, total controls. So do you see what's interesting? So when price moved back down here, remember I was saying maybe if I could have broke even, but it failed to produce total control. So the last three total control dots are control of the offers. 1, 2, 3. Plus demand is expanding. 1, 2, 2, 3. Well, this is growing, so we don't know what this is, but the 128, 145, 185, that's 1, 2, 3. The total control 1, 2, 3. The buying here could use some help, but we've crossed over to cumulative crossed over to buying, right? And we see that no selling, right? This looks like it could grow. So I put my stop under this swing point, and I mean that's maybe ambitious. The top, maybe I should go for a little under it, but I'd like to have at least 1-to-1 on this one. I'll just do that, I don't want to be in a situation where it's one tick away and we don't get it. All right, I placed my bets, so we'll see what happens. To me, it's looking more bullish than bearish, but it is reaching lunchtime, so things can start to go horizontally. The most volatility you see was at the open, and now it's getting harder to read. It's getting harder to read because it's like more horizontal, right? But I like this. Really like this, that we had supply is less supply, more selling, oversold. Here, the cumulative delta shows no selling. Here shows lots of selling. So that's divergence too. And here we had quite a bit of pace of bids. Perhaps that's climactic. If we've got less supply, oversold, then we're getting demand coming in. We got the control offer dots, the buy signal. Supply is drying up. Look, 120 minus 90 minus 12. I mean, it's better than this setup where I got stopped out. But today I didn't see the killer 10 plus points of confluence. Well, because I'm only watching one market. Usually I do find a juicy setup if I watch multiple. But that's all right. We will deal with what we got. Because I think for traders it could be easier to just watch one market and begin to just read the details of the chart instead of keep switching. Because if you keep switching charts, you might lose the story. So you mark it up, learn to read what these numbers are saying and what these histograms are showing, as I try to explain it in the videos. All right, well, I don't know how long this is going to last, so I'll put the video on pause and come back a bit later. All right, so I wanted to come back in with a comment. We've got a triple algo here, which is a buy imbalance. It means there's more buying while this is going down, plus a double algo. And we're really flatlining here. No selling, absolutely no selling. So this is actually good because we got this up thrust and stooges here for now. And there's no selling, so I'm hoping that these are failed signals, which supports my long position, because there's absolutely no selling. All right, I'm going to pause the video. All right, I'm out. This candle just blasted up. How many points did that span? 647. It's like 20 points, over 20 points. And I'm out. Entered here, got out here. I mean, this trade was getting worrisome. All right. And because we had this total control of the bids, I saw supply come in. I mean, selling come in here, but not in the Q delta. But I held the position. I guess, this could have tried to stop some people out, and then price rocketed up. See, that's what happens. We had this move, like selling, and price went down to stop everybody out, but my stop was right here. So this stopped people out that had stops up here, and price rocketed up. See, 13,300 in profit. I was 13,500 in profit after the second trade, right? And if it was just me trading alone, I would have stopped. But this became a learning lesson, right? So we took the third trade, not so good. Fourth trade almost made up for the loss, and we're done for the day. I'm happy with the result. And I'm glad that I was able to show these different scenarios and, reading the analysis, hope that helped people. But normally, if it's just me trading, and if I had that 9 grand after the first trade, I would have been done. Because it's a lot more watching the monitors, and you're more prone to make mistakes, like taking a bad trade, like this one. But overall, I think that was good. I hope this is a good learning experience. This video. That's it for me today. It's time for lunch. So I'll catch you guys next time. If you like this video, smash me a like.